but it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. Do you know where we can find that?
Yes.
It's a Wrestling Ham.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. It is time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. Yes! Mike Sorgatron on all your social medias. That's me. We are at Sorgatron Media Studios here. We have, of course, you're hearing, it's back. The sounds are back. That means Kid Mental is back in the studio.
Yeah, what's cracking?
Yes.
Oh, we didn't do the title. We got to do the title.
We go. Love it. Good to have you back here. It's been a couple weeks. Of course, I was out of town last week anyways.
Yeah, the first week, man, I like the front of my van and the weather strip that goes up over top of the windshield. I just got the windshield replaced, but it started coming off and it just like blah, 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 every time I'm driving. And then I went home and it was doing that, and I was like, I can't come in. I got to do it. It was a warm day that day.
Yeah.
And you can't put the ceiling on unless it's warm enough. It's too cold. It won't set.
You're like, I'm out. I have a project.
Yeah. And then I went in my basement, pulled out the ceiling, and guess what? It's solid. It's solid. It's I can't use it. And the primer solid too. So I found my VHB tape and just jimmied it all the way across.
All right, I want to make you feel better right now because I had a car issue about a month ago while Missy was out of town.
Yeah.
So I had to figure it out by myself. She knows more of the stuff than I do.
Okay.
And I went and got some Fix-A-Flat because I picked up a nail or something out here, probably from this construction or something, right? And I was like, okay, well, yeah, that was basically my thing. I was like, well, I guess I got to buy tires now. So much for equipment for the studio. But anyways, so we had... I grabbed Fix-A-Flat, and then I waited till the next day to do it because I kind of wanted to see what the tire did.
Yeah.
Did it, do its thing overnight? Refill. And I went to take care of it, and it wasn't working. And I was like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to leave this in the car on a freezing night, am I?" So I ruined the can of Fix-A-Flat and didn't use it, and had to throw it away.
You should have called me.
Yeah, you should have called.
I would have got the nail. I have a whole patch kit and everything.
Yeah,
but it just came through.
Yeah.
But you're trying to make me feel better.
Yes.
But the VHB tape I was putting on. And I was like, well, I have to like try to hammer this on. So I got a rubber mallet, and started tapping it in.
Mm-hmm.
And one part wouldn't go in. And I tapped it a little harder. And now I got a crack on the top. I have like three or four cracks, just like.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. So welcome to We Suck at Cars.
We Suck at Cars.
The newest podcast from Sorgatron Media. With us also, we don't know if he's had any car trouble later. Dave Ponner, the iPhoneography podcast, is with us. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. In fact.
Tell me your woes. Tell me. Let's bring this down before we bring this up.
Get it.
My woe.
This is better
my
than
woe
talking about the
was
weather.
Driving on the turn.
His bandwidth is dropping.
I got bandwidth
Dave,
issues. I got
Dave
bandwidth
in the
issues.
box.
no.
We got Dave in the box.
He's in the box.
All right, you're in the box. We still hear you fine. There it is. You're back out of the box, though.
You're back out.
All
of the
right,
box.
all right. Tell me about this before you get back in the box.
As long as I'm not in space jail.
No, that's a different podcast.
Deep cut other show.
Deep cut other show for the Sorgatron Media lore. We're gonna have to get Kid Metal on the show sometime. Just so he knows what the hell's going on when we talk about all this stuff. Don't listen
was
to
driving home on the turnpike.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I didn't want to cut you off. Sorry. So driving home on the turnpike. Okay. There's a truck ahead of me, but he's a good amount ahead of me, and all of a sudden I hear smack. And there's nothing in my field of view, but on the far right of the front windshield on my car that's a month old.
Month old.
Rock got me.
Oh no.
And
he
not,
came.
not just so.
Isn't he from California?
What?
Dwayne Johnson came all the way out here and hit
Yes, he's
Yes.
he's ruining
Yes.
WrestleMania and your window.
Exactly. I mean, it just.
Well,
He
how big
stepped
is
in
it?
where Cody should have been. So the problem was
We're really crossing our podcast
little
now.
pinhole. It was a little pinhole that had a little bit of a tail to it, and
It's gonna
went
grow.
on to the insurance companies, and then it grew overnight.
Oh God.
And then it was like,
It was cold, wasn't it? that
okay,
night?
it's Friday. That happened Thursday evening. Went on the insurance company's website, and they said, "Oh, yeah, we have this special section for glass issues." And I'm thinking, well, last time I had car issues, it took them like 6 weeks to me to do it. And I'm thinking it's going to take forever. But they got me in the next day
Okay.
and replaced my windshield.
Lucky. Wow.
So still $250.
Dang.
Deductible.
You're doing better
So it was
you're
like-
doing better than my tires. Just a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's something that scares me.
them SUV
It's
tires.
like in a year and a half or 2 years when I'm going to need new tires, it's like, oh.
Sometimes you get to specialize. And anyways, that's enough of that. Let's talk about this is the awesome cast.
Yeah.
We talk about tech things, not how much we suck at cars. We're reintroducing this show. Maybe we'll cut that out. I don't know. Anyways, let's get into our awesome things of the week. Kid Metal, I'm gonna let you go first while I go plug my laptop in.
Gonna plug your laptop.
And hopefully Podner's
Yeah.
bandwidth sorts itself out.
You're gonna make me go first, but you gotta do like screenshots and stuff for me.
I'm
like
gonna
I
pull up
can't
a
even,
site.
like,
What are we
you know
talking
what
about?
I'm
Let me
saying?
pull up the first.
Go to the Instagram one at least. Like,
Yes,
you know
yes.
what I mean?
I'll give you
'Cause
something
B&L
started
is
and I'll
like,
step away for a
you know what
moment
I
here.
mean, let theirs run. They got a little story to story.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Here we go.
Akira's like, yeah, I mean, Tetsuo. I can't even like, dude. That bike is killer. Bell in where is it? Barcelona. They specialize in like special little tiny things stuff. Like a lot of like what do you call it? They did these seats that were like old school cars. Like they had like a piece of an old school car, but it's like a seat or a couch or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're pretty dope. But this new project that they're working on is the Akira motorcycle from Akira. Akira. I don't remember the guy who wrote it, but I remember Tetsuo.
You know, it's funny because I just watched Secret Galaxy just did a video about the history of Akira.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That's awesome.
That bike
Good
is
timing.
freaking dope.
It's been so long since I've watched it. I gotta watch it again.
It's funny because there was a comment I was reading on there, and it was like the guy was like, I like that looks cool, but what's up with all the stickers? And people were like, dude, do you know where this bike is from? Like that's what it was from. And he was like, and he started like blabbing
well,
off.
I'm glad
about
somebody
it.
stuck the GIF in there to help us illustrate
I know,
things.
right?
That's amazing. So who is this that puts this together?
Bell and Bell, Bellybel. Since it's Spanish, then it's Y. for and.
We're gonna give them a good follow here.
Yeah,
'cause they got
check
some
them out on Instagram.
Cool stuff.
They got a website, but they're like 26 thou. That's it.
Really?
Yes,
And
and they're only making a certain amount though.
There's custom motorcycles, like
Right?
Harley motorcycles that aren't that
Right?
much, you know?
and you get it shipped over here from Barcelona, let's get it.
Barcelona.
I'm about to order one.
all
you know what I'm
places.
saying? Let me get that. You know what I'm
Let's see that. Would that be street legal? Do you think?
I'll make it street legal.
What do you need for that? Right?
Just me driving it.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
They did a good job. It's
Yeah.
a really nice bike. I've seen other people do it before, but it's like wider. So I think they had to try to. What was it, thinner? I don't remember. Now I can't remember. But they made it. I think it is street legal. They did a good job though. It looks
amazing.
phenomenal.
It looks amazing. That's very, very cool.
If you pull
love
up
the
the
video
other
screen
video,
on it.
yeah, there's one that shows the display, like the display. It's like a picture of the bike.
Is that in this one?
The
headlight-
One is
oh,
that
the
one?
headlight
No,
looks
it's not
cool.
on that one. Well, I don't know if it's on that one. Look at that, the suspension going down.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
there's another video.
Nice low clearance.
Yeah, look, there it is. There's a little, little old school vector.
I'm gonna send this to my sister. She's a bike person. Like they work on and customize some of their
Oh
bikes.
yeah.
Like and they have a little bit of everything, like Harley, Suzuki, kind of stuff, right? So
Nice.
I want to get her kind of vibe on this. She might be in the chat room. Who knows? There you go. But anyways, no, that's awesome. So we'll have that link, of course, in our show notes for this, so you can go check that out if you didn't catch the spelling of that. And it's probably a little difficult since it is Spanish. So
BELYBEL.
you should hear us destroy Japanese names over on the
Oh.
Mayhem show.
Oh.
So we need help with that. When Lucha Underground was happening, we had a dude from El Paso helping us out with pronunciations.
El Paso.
Yes.
El Paso was helping you with the Japanese.
Yes. No. That was for the Spanish for the Lucha Underground.
Oh, for the
so, yeah.
Spanish.
That's before we
Okay.
were
El Paso
ordering
makes sense.
ordering tacos over here every day.
Yes.
So obviously.
Las Palmas.
Las Palmas. But no, I screwed that one up too.
It's okay.
Potter, you're back in the box, but we'll make sure to put something on screen so this looks all right. How are you,
Okay.
what's your
Well,
awesome thing?
Well, let me put it this way. I tried to make it better. I figured my problem is my Wi-Fi, so I'm using my phone as a personal hotspot. And I figured it would be better,
But it's not.
but obviously the answer is no. So annoying. Luckily, there's a lot of screenshots on mine. So a new camera app for the iPhone. It is only in beta.
Mhm.
So that means you have to download Test Flight first
Okay.
and then join the beta.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's free. And the idea here is that it has the person's idea, and I actually found this in a Reddit, is that a lot of the iPhone shots look sharpened, over processed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And with this camera app, you can select different almost film simulations. And when you're in it, you can say, okay, I want that film simulation. And the other thing you can select is like ISO levels. And the nice thing is it tells you when you're doing the ISO level what it does. So once you click on it, it'll say, oh, this is 400, so you'll get medium grain and you'll get high this. And then you can select your color, so you can go all the way from muted to crushed color. So you can make your own kind of custom filter. And the only thing is you have to set the filter first and then take the photo. And so you cannot post-process it. So you can't take like a photo you already took and throw it in there. Unfortunately, that doesn't work.
It was just crying.
I don't think he hears the sound effects the right way over Zoom.
Oh, dang.
Oh, no.
So,
No.
Yes.
No, all I heard was jumbled talk. So I just want to make sure it wasn't like coming in bad.
No, you're good.
We're all learning here.
We're all
Okay.
learning.
Yes, it is a learning experience. We are under the learning tree, the virtual learning tree. But yeah, so if you wanted to just to kind of experiment and get away from artificially sharpened, as I've heard people call it, the Apple magic when it comes to taking photos, or the Samsung magic, because literally every camera out there, Samsung, the Google cameras, Apple's built-in camera, you take the photo, but in reality it's taking multiple photos, it's doing post-processing, it's doing all this, and it's giving you an image afterwards.
Yep.
So no matter what, unless you're going and using a camera app, like Halide, which is one for the iPhone, which even they have their own post-processing for RAW. But even doing RAW, it's still doing a little bit of processing. So unless you're going with some apps which absolutely do no processing, give you a kind of flat image, and then you have to put a lot of work in. Oh, there we go. You got it on the screen.
Yep,
here.
I got it on screen here.
Okay. So
mood camera.
And it's a very easy setup. There's not it's very clean, very organized. But like I said, the one thing is that you can't, and you have to grant access. You can't take a photo you already taken and put it in there. So there we go.
So
you notice on the bottom
very
left
Instagram-y,
of the screen,
Yeah.
on the bottom left where it says gold, so you can select the different filters.
Yeah, you bring the gold out of my cheeks.
All right. Let's
And
try
you can
that.
see the sample above.
Mm-hmm.
And now you really can't see it until you take the photo.
Okay, and then
And
the
then
photo
you
is
can
processing in the corner.
On the bottom left.
And
there we go.
Open
and
that
when you
up.
click on that.
And we'll go look at the picture.
And that'll open up.
There you go. Yeah, there's a little bit of a filter on that.
A little gold.
There you go. Little gold do it. It's a nice test.
Yep.
And show
and
art.
Let's say if you go.
That was like,
that's
Mars
perfect.
Attacks right there.
Awesome.
Who needs AI when you got Kid Mentor?
Absolutely. All right, what are we going to do with you now?
Now, one thing real quick. Real quick, if you go back to the app.
Okay, I'm in it.
And right now I'm just seeing a black screen.
It got goofy.
Okay.
All right, we'll get back to it. Hold on a second.
Gotta get back.
Okay.
I think it got weird because of the
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. This thing kind of gets out of whack a little bit when you do this screen share deal. All right, we got it back. Here, okay, we're back in it.
Okay. So if you click down below where it says quality, so you can see it gives you not only when you change it, it says sharpness high, sharpness low, grain high, grain fine, grain extra fine. So you know what's happening with the different levels here. And they're kind of ISO.
And it's showing
like
it on the
old-fashioned
preview. And I don't know if this comes through in all the compression on the video, but you are seeing some graininess happening. I don't know if you can see that on the TV there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
and if you actually click where it says preview on the image itself, it'll show you the unprocessed image.
Oh, so yeah, that's what you need is the what does it look like
and
here
you can
to there?
and then you can swipe through with different photos too.
Yeah, it's got a lot of tests. Like, hey, yeah, like I got something that looks like this. What does this look like with that?
Yeah,
you know. So let's
That's what it looks like in here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it looks like outside, right? All right, let's try this again. All right, we're going to do this. All right, what are we going to do with the exposure? We'll play with the exposure a little bit, maybe. Maybe we'll give it a little darkerness to it.
If you want to go back, you can just double click.
Oh,
if
we
you
got
want to
some
go back
settings
to the
here.
normal
Now
exposure.
let's go that. All right, you ready?
Yep.
There you go. All right, it's processing. Let's see what happens. And yoink. There you go. There's your processed photo. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
It does feel very like I know it's more. I know it's much more than this.
Yeah.
But it does feel like OG Instagram filters, right? But
honestly, a lot of people were saying
turned
that.
up.
A lot of people were saying that we're testing it. Yeah.
Yeah, like turning up like the like it's but it's showing you how it's getting to that filter, right?
Yeah.
And you're fine tuning it, right? And everything, so you can get like kind of the answer, and also maybe it helps you understand what some of those terms are if you're not a photo buff and you want to go like, what happens when exposure does this? What happens when you add this? This number means this much grain and things like that. That's something that a lot of people, even in video, could probably use because it's like, I don't know what these buttons are. I know white balance this and this on this camera. Where do I go from this? You know, it was actually kind of funny. We had somebody in here with a very high-end Sony video camera, and we're both like, I don't even know what this setting's for. I'm like, what's that? It was an A, or no, it was an FX7.
Okay.
It was a shoulder camera.
Shoulder camera.
Yeah. It's FS7, FX5s are what we have used a lot on some other stuff. So, anyways, so no, I like that. I like that it's kind of a learning experience for something like that too. So that is called the mood.
And it is stable.
And
mood.
It seems to be too.
Mood for being a beta. For being a beta is really stable.
Absolutely. And if you're already, so you do have to download the Test Flight app. It's a very easy process. I forget, do you have to sign up for a developer account or something in order to do that now? No, you
Nope.
don't even have to do
Nope.
that.
you just
So,
get
Not for test flight.
That's good test
we'll
flight.
give you guys a link. Open up on your phone because I'm trying to click on it on a Mac, trying to figure out why nothing's happening. Put it on your phone, on your iPhone device. Click the get into the thing, get in there. It was weird because it was asking me for a redemption code at first, but I think I kind of clicked things in the wrong order. Maybe
You didn't
so.
redeem it from Podner?
I think I didn't update my test flight app for a while because it keeps bugging me. You got new stuff, and I'm just like, oh, nothing's in beta. I'm using anymore. So, all right, go check that out. That's the Mood camera app that's in beta on the test flight for Apple. That's cool that they let you use that and they're open. All right, my awesome thing of this week is I watched the Super Bowl. But which Super Bowl did I watch? Did anybody watch the Super Bowl on Nickelodeon this year?
Oh, man. I am not a sports fan. I don't even know why we're talking about this. But
Because SpongeBob
I
and
know.
Patrick were live commentating and moving.
That was weird.
And everything.
They're like trying to get the
It
kids
was,
involved.
Dude, it got us involved. We
You
loved
didn't-
it. At the end, listen, and I don't give a crap about SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I've seen all the movies
Well,
because
now
my
you
wife
do.
loves SpongeBob. Well, it was funny because we were doing the NFL Blitz tournament yesterday with a bunch, that day with a bunch of wrestlers.
Yeah.
And we just put it on because we had multiple TVs out here because we wanted to put on the Puppy Bowl, the main show, the main Super
What's the
Bowl,
Puppy Bowl?
and the what?
What's the Puppy Bowl?
You don't know the Puppy Bowl?
I don't.
Hold on that. Maybe that'll be for Patreon. Okay. But it's puppies playing football.
No, it's
And this is the
not.
20th year they've done it. My
20
mother
years?
My mother watched it on repeat all day on Sunday.
Oh my god.
Yes. And apparently they've spun off. If you go on, if you have the I guess Max app,
Yeah.
they have it on. The latest one is on there. That's where we watched it. And they also have spin-offs. They have a World Cup and a Winter Games version, and they have the 20 years like retrospective
now we're
of
gonna have
Puppy
to go
Bowl.
watch the Puppy
It
Bowl.
started on Animal Planet, and now that's all one company now.
Yep,
So
Max.
so it's all on Max. Anyways, the point is, so it was cool because like
SpongeBob.
they had overlays on the field, like the first down line was the pineapple line, and they kept saying they gotta get the ball to the pineapple, and then they'll have a first down. Like they're explaining the rules, like we're like kids, and it is the guys that voice Patrick and SpongeBob responding things, asking questions, making jokes. They kept dropping Taylor. They showed Taylor Swift more than the other one, and they talked about her like they even had like an inset camera to see what she was up to.
Wow.
Obviously, it was interesting to see like they would cut away and do other things when there's like an injury on the field, when Taylor's definitely throwing back drinks, things like that. So it was interesting to see kind of where that went, and also like which breaks had the same Super Bowl ads. Like when they were doing all the beer commercials, something else is happening over on Nickelodeon.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very cool to see like them kind of like work with those back and forth. And I was curious because they've done this before.
Yeah, they did.
And there was a picture of what they used, and there was like facial tracking. And let me see if I can pull up real quick because Katie actually found the video because I'm like, I want to see the behind the scenes. So Dutter sent me this the other day. Let me see if I can screen share this thing again. They do face tracking, but I think you're going to... Podner, can you guess how... I feel like you can guess how they did the facial tracking this year.
You mean for the
For the actors that did SpongeBob and also their arms. The update was also their arms could move this year, and it seemed like they kept reminding them because all of a sudden they just started like waving things around. So
They used a virtual avatar.
I mean, did they use an iPhone?
it was definitely
For
an
capture?
iPhone. So here's a little bit. You see the CG Patrick and SpongeBob here reacting to things. Oh wait, maybe this. Oh, this is just what this is just the top comments that they talked about. Oh, and whenever there was the end zone got slimed, and the end zone had Krabby Patty shooting into the crowd, and there was an overlay over the field goal. We said there was a lot clearer to figure out if the field goal was on or not from the graphics that they were using. Hold on, I think I got another one here. There's a sphere. Oh, here it is. Check this out. So this is is this the original one, or is this the one from this is the original one with the face tracking. I think it's over on Instagram.
Okay, and I can see the
He's got the camera.
but they have clipped in front of them there.
They haven't clipped in front of them, which is pretty typical for when you're doing the face tracking thing. Like when you see like a Rocket Raccoon and stuff like that, that's definitely what they're doing.
For live face tracking
live face tracking.
Yeah, the
you
fact
can
it's
tell.
live face tracking.
It wasn't perfect. It was definitely not perfect by any means. She must have. Oh, here it is. Here it is on Instagram. She sent it to me. They just straight up have iPhones now, strapped to the front of their face. And that's it. They're doing the voices live. They're doing the thing. It looked like the announcers were maybe right beside them and everything. So this is them kind of warming up before the show. So you got to think about and they're not even using like pros or anything, right? You got to think with the face tracking, with the Face ID and everything, like there's IR that is tracking your face. So they've built into that, obviously, and now they don't have to buy a specialized unit. So it's good enough for CBS on the Super Bowl for Nickelodeon to use.
Yeah.
And everybody's walking around with these things now, right? Like, this is one of those things that makes me feel like I'm highly, highly underutilizing my phone that I'm carrying in my pocket every day. Because all of us are. There's so much technology in these things.
Those things are just are. I mean, it's a hardware that you can.
Absolutely. And obviously, I do use this for work.
I've
done a lot of video work with
it. You do more than the average person.
Probably, and I still don't feel like I do enough with that thing to justify what I paid for it, right? Or I am paying for it. There's a 13 I'm still paying for, 13 Pro Max that I'm still paying for with a terabyte on it.
I'm done paying for mine, and it does its job.
But I tell you what,
it's a Pixel and it's a budget, and I love it. I love it.
But you don't need it, man. You could do the music on there, and that's cool. I don't even
use this for music. I just use this to call somebody like this. It's a phone. It's a phone. Like what?
Call.
Oh, look! I could text people too. Did you know I could text people from this thing?
What?
That's crazy. for like a fraction of what you pay for yours.
I thought my computer went off, but I think it's just screen captured and went crazy.
It did.
I don't know what's happening right now.
Did you switch it back out?
There it is. I need to escape out of it.
Did it come back?
I'm stuck. It's gone. It's gone, everybody. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. This is your AwesomeCast. You can just head to AwesomeCast at sorgatronmedia.com if you got any comments. And if I get this laptop to come back, I can tell you about Patreon. We do have some special stuff with our Patreon every week for you. We'll have a little bit extra conversation there. What did I need to tell you about last?
Was that the news already?
What's that? No. That was just the awesome thing.
I was about to say.
Wait until after the break. We'll get to the news. I know it's been a couple.
I was about to say, like, what is going on?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
What are you doing?
There's SpongeBob and there's the Super Bowl and there's Tay-Tay and everybody's just going nuts. Anyways, thank you to patreon.com/awesomecast. Everybody that does support the show over there. Our friends at the Coffee Club level, Cynthia Klosky, and at the fan of the show level, Michael Fedor, Matt Weller, John DeGore, and Dave Podner Sprouse of Rooster Really Affair at roosterreallyaffair.com. And he's in a box.
He's in a box.
He's the man in a box.
In the box, baby.
Just like Allison Change.
He's in the box. He's in the box. He's in the box.
I was hoping he'd dance in the box, but I guess that's not happening. I don't know if he's getting all the. I don't know if he's. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. And now he's just miming a little bit.
Like
I don't know.
He's pushing himself out.
Oh, there you go. Now he's got no music, but he's still going. Maybe he's on that much of a delay. Oh, there you go. There you go. There he is. He's still dancing. Okay, we're just gonna move on. We'll check back with him in a minute. Let's get to the rest of the news.
Whoa!
Yep, it's the news.
There we go.
See? Bonner. Since we're focusing on you so much, you want to talk about what you did with your iPhone 15 lately?
Yep, and actually, I would say not my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Ruth's iPhone 15 Pro Max. So, her 13 was just having issues, and this is just something we tried where I read that they have on Sunday we finished we did a relay walk, and this is the action mode.
Okay.
Under the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So it's extra stabilization. So I'm walking along, holding the camera, getting the shot of her walking. with all this happening on the inside here. So the fact that I'm handheld, just walking along, kind of backwards. So it's stable-ish. But the fact I can get that stable of a shot.
I gotta ask you a question because I was once trying to use it for my iPhone Pro Max 13 for some indie wrestling, no ring kind of stuff. And I was like trying to zoom in and out, and it seemed really jerky and stuff. That zoom out at the end, was that like a pinch out or something, or hitting the button or anything like that?
That was a pinch out. That was
a pinch out.
Yeah,
because it was a lot smoother.
That
Even
was a
with the
pinch
pinch out, it was a lot smoother than I've been able to execute on the 13.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, I know people love to say, oh, the difference between the 13 and the 14, the 15 with the iPhones, no big deal. They don't. You get a couple generations, especially when you're trying to do something that kind of stretches what it does. It adds up.
It absolutely does.
And and like I said, especially because I did that. I'm trying to remember if it was not the 5x zoom. If you do use you have to get pretty far away because the 5x zoom is pretty good. If you do a 5x zoom and you do that action mode and you're the one walking around, it just gives you. It's like you're holding it on a jib. It's just ultra smooth. It's ultra locked. That's one thing, and all you have to do is make sure the person stays there centered in the middle.
Absolutely.
And
it tracks
really
that person.
You really don't notice. It does. It does a great job.
Like you have a gimbal?
In fact, there's
that's what it effectively feels like.
What's a jib?
Yeah.
Gimbal,
I'm sorry, I may be
gimbal,
talking about the wrong
jib's
thing.
more of an arm kind of thing. But
An arm
a
thing,
gimbal's more what we're talking about. I
Okay.
think.
I was just making
Sorry
sure
about
I was
that.
on the same
Make
page.
sure we're all on the
That's
same page.
me trying to talk but messing up.
That's fine. That's
That's
fine.
me trying to talk
Potter
and
does not
messing
work
up.
in this world
Oh,
every day
no,
like
it's
you and I
okay.
do.
It's okay. I was just wondering.
That is yes.
Just wanted
And
to make sure.
I appreciate the understanding there.
Yes.
But
We are
there
not-
was another one.
We are experts in various things, but not everything. here,
Yes.
so.
But like between us all, we can get there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We help each other through
Yeah.
it, right? So, this is the other thing we learned from the Super Bowl this week, and everybody thought they were saying Temu wrong the entire year.
What was
The
it?
new ad is Temu.
Temu.
I think everybody's been pronouncing it Temu. And then we're like, we've been saying this wrong for forever.
It literally reads Temu.
But here's where this came up, because somebody pointed out actually there was a Super Bowl ad last year for it as well, and they did say it differently.
Temu.
They said Temu a year ago, and this year they said Temu for
It's
some
because
reason.
they hired the wrong company.
I
to
think
do
that's.
this.
I think
That's what
somebody didn't
happened.
vet it, right?
Yeah.
It's a Chinese company, isn't it? Isn't it like Wish or
I
something?
think it's like Wish.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm guessing that.
Yeah,
in
it's basically Wish.
I'm guessing
They
this
don't
is.
care.
This feels like a localization problem.
I think they don't give a crap as long as they make money.
Absolutely,
I think
absolutely.
that's like
But when you spent Super Bowl money on an ad, I would hope
Well,
you've
it's like
paid
the-
some attention.
it's like Studio Ghibli,
Ghibli?
which is Ghibli,
Mhm.
which Italian it's Ghibli because it's a car / plane where his father used to work for like a company, like, because remember the movie, the other Ghibli film with the Mitsubishi whatever going on, remember that? There's a film which makes me
I've only seen a couple of these because of Sci-Fi Channel a few
yeah,
years
I
ago.
don't like
a couple
the-
decades
I don't
ago.
like those versions because they're not very sci-fi. They're more like they're more rotoscope. Like, why are we making a cartoon of irregular things that are happening? Like, I hate that about
Have
them.
you seen the old Lord of the Ring cartoons?
Yes, I remember that.
Oh,
I don't
man,
want
they were
rotoscope.
kind of creepy.
Snow White was rotoscope too. So
It was.
Yeah, but
to
like,
perfection.
we're so far away from that. Why are we doing it again?
Mhm.
So but yeah, it was a ode to his, I think, his father. He liked this specific plane or car, which was a Ghibli plane, which was a Ghibli car. So when you watch the Italian, when an Italian says it's Ghibli, but because it's Japanese, it's gibber. It's gibbery.
Yeah, they don't have hard consonants.
The
I
L.
think
They don't say L.
Yeah,
remember? So
yeah,
it's-
yeah.
So it's gibbery.
Yeah.
And that's really how they say it. They say
Yes.
gibbery, but it's really Ghibli, but we can call it Ghibli. Nobody cares. Like, it doesn't matter as long as you know what studio it's from.
So again, coming
Now,
for the Chinese side. Like
from-
it could go either way.
It can go
Yeah,
either
yeah,
way.
yeah,
They could
yeah.
be like
Right.
Timu.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Language is weird. You know what's also weird that has to do with language? We saw Duolingo's butt this week.
Yeah,
Did you
right.
see that?
No, I didn't. I see it all the
Apparently,
time.
it was
though.
a localized commercial for the most part. And it was like 5 seconds of just like the Duolingo owl's butt.
Wow.
It was amazing.
That's
I
funny.
really need to get back on there.
That's hilarious.
I just let my subscription lapse like last week. So
We've been doing it every week. The kids got me back on
there
it.
you go.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's actually fun when you get into it. So it's just a timing thing. So, anyways,
Sorg,
Give
Sorg,
me-
Sorg, before we move on, next thing. So Temu, do you think, I'm going to use a term from the other show, do you think we're all just getting worked here?
absolutely. Speaking of getting worked in the other show, this applies here. WWE made an announcement this past week that they're going to do a partnership with X to create WWE Speed. These are under 5-minute matches that are going to be premiering regularly, weekly, I believe, on Twitter, on the WWE's Twitter page. So there you go. Special content geared towards X. WWE is no stranger to this. They shows in different formats. If you remember the what was the vertical video Quibi that came out right before COVID?
Yeah. I thought you were going
Uh,
to. I thought you were going to mention the mixed match challenge. That was
Mixed Match Challenge was on
Facebook only.
Facebook. Was a Facebook only show that they did.
Yeah.
It was mixed tag teams, women and men teams,
Yeah.
taking each other
Absolutely,
on. And they had a
and that was
tournament.
absolutely great.
That was fun.
so
That was a
much
lot of fun. I think
That
they
was
did
so
like
much
two
fun.
tournaments of that.
They
if
did,
I
yeah.
recall. So there's that. They're doing stuff on Hulu
What?
exclusively. They did a show for the Quibi that I mentioned. That was like that vertical video kind of, or it was vertical, but you could like turn it on your phone and it would change the video. Reno 911 was really interesting to watch on there. They did do episodes for it at the time. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so it's interesting. Interesting to see content plays coming to X Twitter again. It's been a while since we've seen something like this. I know there's some other.
It makes me wonder what the demographic. I mean, I know what the demographic they're pushing for, but like, is there going to be? Is it going to be enough to?
Well, if X is throwing money at them to have content to make people stay on X, then that's the answer, right?
Well, I mean, it's
So-
commercials.
I
It's
was
all
going to say,
ads.
Yeah, and there's going
which
to be
way
ads
is the
on
money?
everything.
Which
Straight
way
up
is the
ads,
money going?
Yeah, and WWE.
Yeah, which way is the money going?
I to the chagrin of people that would rather be on other platforms, wrestling is still on Twitter X.
Yeah.
I've been looking for it. I've been
Twex.
looking for it moving. But when wrestling is happening and everybody wants to talk about it, like the thing I finish whatever show I'm doing on a Saturday night, I pull up Twitter and say, okay, what happened in the world of wrestling tonight? Because between the main promotions and the independent promotions and the wrestlers themselves, they are still there.
Wow.
The negative people are definitely still there, but again, if you've seen my feed the last couple of weeks about mental health and social media, which apparently has people worried about me. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm trying to help you out. You're a rock star. There you go. That's over on the Mayhem Show account, I think, more than anything that was happening. So, and no, I'm not subtweeting about you. Anyways, you know who you are. So, but no, it is interesting seeing them do a content play, and this isn't the only one happening. Just in spaces that we have no interest in, I'll say, are already doing this kind of thing. So I don't know about that. They sound like they're streaming long form for the most part. So either way. So no, it's interesting to see that happening. So Adobe. There's a couple Adobe things in Apple Vision. Actually, let's jump to you, Potter. You got some Apple related things happening here we can touch base on.
Okay. So which one do you want to hit first?
Which one makes you feel happier?
I would say the blind user.
Oh
Blind
yes, that was actually
user.
that is a feel good.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
feel good one there.
That is a feel good.
Tell me about it.
By the
'cause-
way,
yes.
first of all, for those watching, I opened the door to my bedroom, and I think that fixed my bandwidth issue.
That sounds like my house where I have these metal walls and
Yeah.
the Wi-Fi cannot penetrate them. So, anyways, all right. So, Potter is not allowed to have a
So-
closed studio when broadcasting.
No, apparently not. No.
It's all I think
So-
it's all the medals on your wall. I think they're obfuscating. Those are I don't know if you can tell.
That's
Yes,
what
that's
they're
it.
doing.
That mesh of pixelated color in the background are all of his medals.
Yes, all this mess.
He has too many, and now his Wi-Fi is suffering.
That's what it is.
So you too can degrade your Wi-Fi if you run enough.
Oh yeah. Just
Anyways.
take a little over a decade, and you can build up your own Wi-Fi area here.
Anyways, when I think Apple Vision Pro,
Yeah.
I do not think about it being beneficial to people with eyesight issues. But it turns out
Correct.
that is incorrect. Tell me why.
Well, mainly because people who are blind and legally blind are not 100% without vision.
There's a very good Super Bowl
So-
commercial kind of explaining this.
Right. So basically, that person, he is legally blind. He
Mhm.
basically can't see.
Mhm.
But remember, these screens are going inches away from your face. And both of these screens are equivalent to 4K.
Mhm.
So you're having 4K screens inches away from your face. So, and there is a built-in zoom that's available. So there is accessibility in the Apple system.
Oh, so no.
So there is a zoom. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. So I was totally thinking of Tommy Edison. I was like, well, that's not going to help him. He was born blind. He's not going to.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends because even people who are born, like I said, if they can see, like the guy said, majority of people, this guy I think was born blind.
Mhm.
He just had undeveloped
Corneas or
eye vision,
something.
multiple
Yeah.
things. So you can see the zoom there, where it's the equivalent of holding it up right to your face and zooming in.
Mhm.
And
Which would not be
As he has
functional.
issues.
Which would not be functional in a day-to-day process. But if you can put this in your eyes like this, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me
most
want to.
definitely,
Tommy Edison. We gotta see if Tommy Edison tried it on, but I don't think he can see that well. Tommy Edison. Do y'all know who he is? You ever seen his? That's pretty cool. Go follow him on YouTube. Tommy Edison.
okay.
He's a blind guy, and he just tells us random stuff about blind people.
Okay.
People-
But the one nice thing, and this is something that would help me, is because you notice I have my focusing issue
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
where both my eyes don't go in the same direction.
Mhm.
You can
Yes.
say only follow the left eye or
Right.
only follow the right eye,
or follow both. eyes.
or because, well, by default, yes. But if you try to follow both my eyes, you're going to get the cursor going which way?
Yeah, but
Mhm.
you will be able to focus, right? Like I would assume, right? I mean, I don't know.
It's
I don't
painful.
know.
It's
It's
painful.
painful. Okay, so you're just trying to focus on
It's
just
actually
one.
it's actually for me to get both eyes going forward.
Mhm.
I have to think about it, kind
Well,
of.
no, I was thinking.
And
Well, if it's tracking
like, ooh, scary.
as the other
Yeah,
one,
it's actually tracking both eyes.
so
at the
it's,
same
as the
time
one's
for most
floating. Okay, so I thought that would be easier for you. I didn't know if you were
Well,
depending
you have to
on
tell
one.
the system. Right. Yeah. I'm always. I'm
You're
pretty
depending on that
left eye
one.
dominant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the right eye is the one that kind of is floating way over here, doing nothing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm left eye dominant. But his problem, the person who's trying this on,
Uh huh.
is a problem. A lot of people who are low vision or legally blind, their eyes shake.
Mhm.
Mm.
So the eye tracking still doesn't work, but you can still say, okay, don't track my eyes, use my hand
Mhm.
to do the tracking
Mm.
and do the pinching.
Mm.
So Apple, this is one thing Apple's good at, is thinking about accessibility.
Mhm.
So, they're like, okay, what if someone doesn't have this? A lot of people are like, well, what if you don't have a hand? Well,
Mhm.
they have different options, and you can see they can change the display option similar to an iPhone.
Mm.
And, it makes it a lot easier for someone to use it,
Mhm.
especially if you figure this is kind of an alpha product.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You're a beta tester, so you're a beta tester with this product, but they're at least thinking far enough ahead of, okay, we have people who want to use this
What if?
who are vision issues.
Yeah.
And I think they actually inside of Apple have people who are like, okay, we hired someone who specifically has vision issues to try out the new iPhone,
Mhm.
the iPad, the new OS's, to see how it works for them.
Is that why you're
So
getting
they do
yours?
the internal testing for that.
That's how they sent you yours? Is that what happened?
I wish.
Yeah,
we
I was
wish.
gonna say, like,
we wish.
Yeah, that'd
They
be
were like,
great.
yo,
We wish they sent them
All right,
one.
partner. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I mean,
gonna have to call
I'm open for testing.
I gotta be on. I
I'm
gotta
open
get them
for
on
testing.
the phone. I gotta get them on the phone so I can send you one.
I say, call me up, Apple.
For real.
Call me up.
Call me up, Tim Apple.
Call me up.
But no,
Awesome.
it's just kind of nice to see that,
Mhm.
oh, we have this large population of people who have vision issues.
Mm-hmm.
We have this, and I think really Apple's seeing this as first step of the future of a new type of computing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because this is a self-contained device. This isn't, you have to hook it up to a computer, you have to hook it up to a phone. It's its own thing.
Mhm.
I love watching the
So-
commercials for these when it's just like it's a division that you don't realize unless you look further into it. Where, I mean, like we're in the age where everybody's on their phone, so
Yeah.
you're in the same room and everybody's like not looking at each other.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But then when the commercials, it's usually one person. I usually see. I don't know if it's all of them, but it's usually one person. There's this crowd of people around them. Nobody else has a virtual thing, and they're like, "Yay, virtual
Yeah.
person!" But then it's only one. I'm like, it's just funny to me.
Yeah. It's just like this isn't a social device.
No,
it's
no.
very not.
No.
You know, unless you
No.
all have one or something. Well, and I'm very interested to see, like, you know, the idea of kind of opening up and having, like, you know, AR and work, and let's stay on the Apple Vision, because it is nice to see there is support for the work side of things like this. And
Mhm.
again, I don't know how functional, how realistic this is going to be until getting one on my head and seeing how everybody kind of works with this thing. But I am curious about it, and the steps are getting there. I don't think it's this one. I don't think it's going to be one on my head anytime soon. But Adobe is bringing Lightroom and Firefly AI to the Apple Vision Pro. It's talking about how you can pull images generated by Firefly apps and place them in the environment around you. Panoramas, 360-degree image generation. I don't know how terribly useful this is, other than maybe Lightroom being in there for you to work from. And of course, you could connect, like, I think you can connect to your Mac and kind of have your Mac work within Dolby Pro. But there is like some native support here for putting the objects you make into your environment here through Adobe. So it's a little gimmicky, maybe. I don't know the usefulness entirely, but you could definitely get in there and start making things while having your headset on. So what that does for the workspace, I don't know entirely. But yeah, Lightroom is like, it looks like it's a mostly fully functional kind of Lightroom kind of, well, actually that looks like kind of an iPad Lightroom situation there.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's the iPad. It's basically built off the iPad version,
yeah, that's what it
which
looks like.
is
Which is
not
which is
100% there because
no, but
Ish.
pretty
Wow.
pretty functional. But the fact that you can do that's nice. It makes it more useful.
Mhm.
It does add to the case of this being a productivity device. So, and again, yes, and that is definitely give me a double one of those for one of these, because it's $3,500. Yeah. But anyway, again, it's a baby step forward and something, you know, that will hopefully be useful to some of us down the line when
I
they
could
figure
buy
things out.
I could buy an e-bike with that.
You can
know
buy
what
you
I'm
can buy
saying?
an
a couple
e-bike.
e-bikes.
You can
know what I'm
buy
saying?
like 3, 4, 5 iPads.
Mm.
You can for all the kids for school. You can buy
Yeah.
probably about 10 Chromebooks. You know, where do you want me to start with this? You can buy 5 3 no
I could buy a backup budget phone.
yeah, you can buy
Couple of
at
them.
least 5 MetaQuests.
5 MetaQuest. What
So you can do all the social together with the virtual
Yeah.
reality at that point
yeah,
for the same price.
I could just get a Vespa. And
Or you get a Vespa. There you
Right?
go. There you go. A lot of options there. A lot of options there. You can get an old ambulance and turn it into a food truck. That was on a show on Netflix I just watched. But
for
anyways,
36?
for about 30. I think they, in the continuity of the show, it was $3,000,
Oh.
and they surprisingly cleaned up and made that ambulance functional. Let's just put it that way. A little bit of stretch of reality.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Anyways.
making that money.
Yes, making that money. But Apple is also doing something with AI that's going to be interesting with the images, right?
right. And this is something I'm really hopeful for, because one thing Apple is, if you will, late to the AI party. Google has their thing. Microsoft has the thing mostly with GTP inside of Bing. But Apple, it looks like they're working on, you can just tell in text what you want to do to a photograph, and it will handle the process behind the scenes.
Okay.
So this is a paper that, so you want to say light in the sky and bring out the color here and do this here. So, and then it would go behind the scenes. It knows what you want to do, and it would put it out that way.
Help me understand, like this is saying Apple researchers, and you're saying a paper. So this was a research paper that was released. This is not necessarily something functional that has been shown off or anything like that?
It's a test. It's a test model.
Okay.
So it's part of the paper. You can actually, there's a link in the article from The Verge where you can test it out.
Oh, okay.
So, but this is not a rolled out Apple product.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically they're working with researchers. They're writing technical papers or writing research papers.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is them publishing the results.
So it looks like
It
looks like it's showing the pizza includes vegetable toppings such as tomatoes and herbs. Common sense reasoning, make it more healthy. They put the vegetable toppings on it, right? So like I don't know if this is like Photoshop modification versus remove woman in the background. I don't know if I'm entirely understanding what they're doing there, but it looks like they're like saying and add
on
this
the
to
right, yeah, basically on the right, the idea is you would just say remove the woman in the background.
Okay.
So you don't have to go in there and
interpret it
go into Photoshop and do this.
And in plain language interpretation is shift to the man's expression. It looks
exactly.
like. Okay,
yeah.
That's their intention?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, and you say there's a link that I can try this
where
out?
It says, there is a link in here. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see here. It's one of these things. Let's see here.
Live demos, baby.
No.
Demo.
Well, I think I found the PDF. It loaded a PDF apparently.
Yeah, that's a PDF.
Yeah, with the whole report.
Okay, no, if you go down to where it says reports VentureBeat.
Okay.
Underneath the ad, the link is on that page.
On the VentureBeat page?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beep beep.
And I think I have too many windows open in my my Chrome here, and it's choking on me.
Who's got the keys to the Jeep? Broom.
Looks like a hugging face. So it's based on Hugging Face, which is you can drop is this where it describes the images? So drops. Let me see if I can grab anything that's worthwhile. I'm going to grab my Dolly image.
Grab it, dude.
Oh, there we go.
And hit submit and see what happens. So because there was a thing that apparently pissed some people off. Maybe we'll talk about that on Patreon, where I had a dream about an ostrich with red shoes that woke me up.
What?
So I visualized it.
Did you find it?
So this isn't the Apple thing. This is just Hugging Face, which I think is its own independent thing, where it is.
Right.
So it's telling me what the wait. So what tells me what the image is, but then it added another bird to the image.
Yeah, because it's a little kiwi.
Right.
Okay, the image would be a combination of a bird wearing a pair of red tennis shoes and a background of greenery. The bird would be standing on a lush green field, possibly a meadow, with a sense of curiosity and playfulness. So, and then it added like a little kiwi for some reason. I don't know why. But this is based off of what they're doing, and then they're kind of adding a little bit of the textness to it, the language model to it, right? So,
right,
interesting,
right. And the thing is, Apple releases a lot of this stuff as here's our research that we put out, and they're starting to release a lot more research. Where in the past it was more of Apple's working on something, they're not telling anyone, and all of a sudden it's released.
But they also almost kind of have to prove to people they are working on this, because this is what everybody is quote unquote supposed to be working on in order to continue to make money in the technology space, right? If you don't have an AI plan, you're dead in the water as far as the stock market goes.
Exactly. But also, Apple tends to focus on not saying we have this AI model you can work on your photos. We'll say we have plain text photo editing. So you just tell the photo. You just tell the iPhone what it wants to do,
and
it'll adjust your photo.
And this is where my wife is going to become a superstar. And I'm going to tell you why on Patreon. Superstar. I'm going to tell you why on Patreon here. Coming up.
But even more of a superstar.
Even more of a superstar.
Remember what day we're before?
Even more.
Remember what day we're before? She's more of a superstar.
Exactly. Kid Mental, thank you so much for hanging with us once again. I want to introduce you to the Puppy Bowl on Patreon.
Yeah.
Okay? We're going to do that over there. That's you. And Dave Potter, thank you for hanging with us, bringing us the AI and the Apple stories and the photos.
Always glad to be on. Always glad to be on.
I got another beta app that's going to bug me about updates. I'm at Sorgatron on all the social media. You can check out my adventures. I talked about it last week, but of course last week I did get to visit the University of Michigan's workshops. There's a thank you for that. They actually posted a picture of all of our group photo on the M-Fly Aero Design. I got a great sticker on my laptop that says "Fly, Crash, Repeat." I can't wait to have that in the airport. But anyways, and of course, I will be doing a lot of stuff this week. I'll be with 880 Wrestling in New Kensington, 2PW Wrestling in Worthington, PA. RWA is Saturday with West Noon. I'll be supervising. Chachi's going to be taking on that one with the crew, and I will be in just south of Wheeling, West Virginia, and McMecken for a big anniversary show with our friends at VCW down there. All will be streaming in some fashion at IndyWrestling.us. Stay tuned for details over there. Thank you, everybody. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week.
This is AwesomeCast.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.